welcome back to the channel, my freedom-loving 2A supporting patriots. So I'm going to go over in this video all the recent talk there's been about banning pistol braces. So, you know, good old-fashioned pistol brace. First, you couldn't shoulder it. You know, just use it as a cheek weld, but it couldn't touch your shoulder. Or just use it one-armed, you know, as it was intended. And then, you know, if it occasionally touched your shoulder, then it was okay. And now there's been recent talk of just banning them altogether. And so it's just beyond frustrating, like the ATF and constantly changing their minds, changing their rules, making up their own laws and stuff, which they're not allowed to. They're not allowed to write law. It's just beyond annoying, beyond frustrating. So I'm going to leave a link down in the description box from the Firearms Policy Coalition, where you can sign a petition to go ahead and not only help try and get the ATF defunded, but to have them disbanded as well. It's not a great organization by any means. They are not on our side, and it's just frustrating having to constantly deal with so many rule changes, how they interpret crap. You know, it's beyond annoying. And so I'll leave that link below. Please make sure you go ahead and sign up for that if you're interested in doing so. So, as far as, you know, if they were to ban these braces, now, keep in mind I am not an expert. I mean, I've done all my research on this, but I'm not an expert on all this stuff by any means. So, if they were to ban braces and make them illegal, then everyone's going to have to go ahead and SBR their what are pistols now, and then there'll be short barrel rifles, of course, you know, and then you could throw a stock and whatnot on there. So from my understanding is when you do that, you got to pay, you know, your $200 tax stamp. You are allowed to run multiple uppers on that SBR if you do change it, but they say it's wise to keep, you know, if you're going out to the range or whatever, to keep the upper that it's registered with you, you know, just in case you should need to do so if you're stopped or anything or questioned. And so, in the long run, I would kind of prefer having an SBR in the first place, but my whole reason I went with the brace option is because I travel to Kansas all the time. So the majority of my shooting film footage on here is done out in Kansas. So, according to the NFA and all those laws and whatnot, I'm allowed to travel state lines with my suppressor. I don't have to ask for permission from anyone, from the ATF or anything, to go ahead and take that into Kansas. That is perfectly legal. You know, depending on what state you're traveling to, of course, and if it's legal in that state. But when you do an SBR, you're not allowed to travel to different states with that SBR without asking permission from the ATF first and being given permission to do so. So if I were to go to Kansas, you know, which I do frequently, I'm out there probably once a month now anymore, helping out Grandma and visiting her and doing what I can for her, I'd have to ask every time I'd want to go out there to take my SBR. So a lot of the times when I go out there, it's kind of a spur of the moment thing. Like, say if I'm working and we finish up a job a day or two early, and I end up with a 3 or 4 day weekend, I'm shooting out to Kansas to go hang out with Grandma and spend time out there. And so I'm not going to have time to go through all the proper channels and be asking for permission to go out there. So it's just, all gun laws are unconstitutional. We all know that. But it's just frustrating, and I'll be super pissed if they ban braces. I'm just trying to do everything by the law, as I know the majority of you are as well. We try to bend over backwards to obey these laws and follow these laws and stay legal. And when they're just constantly changing them and adding new ones in all the time, it just makes it that much harder. You know, you ban these and then, you know what, you know, I'm sure there's probably, you know, 1 million braces out there, 500,000, you know, whatever. That you just made all those people felons just like that. Law-abiding citizens. So it's just beyond annoying. Like I said, I'm going to leave that link down in the description box. I'm asking that everyone please sign it and just do what we can. Help make sure you support organizations like the FPC and GOA and your state level no compromise organization as well. Those are the people who are out there helping to fight for you to keep your rights and to get, you know, new laws from being passed and fighting against existing ones. So that's all I got for this one, you guys. I appreciate you watching as always, and God bless.